Evening. I want to talk about something that keeps coming up as this really strange thing that happens around me, right? That defies logic itself, and it makes perfect sense if you know the true nature of things. So, I know this lady, and she's in her 70s, and she just stands firmly by the Bible no matter what. If I bring up anything, and she's like, well, is it in the Bible? No, well, I don't believe it. No, I don't believe anything that's not in the Bible. But then in the Bible, it says that Jesus has been here since the beginning of time, and that he was here before he was even born, and all this other stuff. And in order to follow Jesus, you got to drop all your shit, which kind of includes the Bible. You know, you have to be all inclusive. Otherwise, and he's here for everyone in the world, not just for Christians. And if Christians already got him, well, then they don't need him, and he doesn't need them either because they're already good to go. So there's there's one of the paradoxes right there. And but then she, like, on other times, uh so then I'm even trying, we're having this discussion and about God's mother, about the divine feminine. And she's like, I don't believe any of that stuff. God's a man and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but who was here before there was light? If he's the light, then what is the light held by? The darkness. What was before the Big Bang? Oh, we don't know what happened. Okay, sure. But you can look at the sky, right? And all the lights are the masculine. And they're in the womb of what? God, the divine feminine, who has no face, who is God before space and time, the the beginning force, and that's Sophia, in a sense, the original mother of all. But then both, she's shadow, she has no form and has no face. Nobody's ever seen her. And so then she also uh, ties together with chaos, and so that's why. So then through the tradition, they changed, they demoted her because she's too unpredictable as a concept, because people can't understand it. So then they had to tie everybody's mind to the image of Christ because everyone has the ability to see that, though she created that. And who's she but the physical body, which came from the physical matter, which came from all things, all the light, all the plasma, all the way back to before anything was ever here, to create the mind, which is in all animals. But their mind is separate and together with the Divine Mother. Our mind is the only thing as human beings that's separate. But then that seed itself is the image of Christ, is her child, is who she sees as her face. And that's how it is. Well, so then the Holy Spirit's name is Sophia. But they took her name out and called her the Holy because, all the demons come out of her too. And all the demons and all the monsters are in all the people as a whole bunch of fucking spirits that say one thing one minute and then do something else the next minute. They'll say, oh yeah, I'm all about God, and then turn around and kick their child out on the street because that person's got a spirit in them on drugs. Well, then what fucking spirit is controlling the father to do that? When it goes against the biblical teachings in itself about Christ and about the sin and about forgiving. And what other family would Christ have but all of humanity, not a religion? Okay, so the book itself was created against and for, but it was for creating order in the world, but it was against God, and it was against the Spirit in order to contain everybody in and of and against themselves, and as hypocrites for and against, so that everybody is out of alignment. And then, so then one thing that she talks about, she's like, oh, I'm wondering about the 1,000 years, which, bringing that up, the spirit in itself says, oh, that she's in and of it and separate from it. She doesn't get it. The spirit's saying, I don't know. I don't understand it. But she'll only believe that one book. And anything, if you show it to her in there, then she'll believe it. But then that book was created 1,600 years after he was born and had to go through all these revisions, and it was before even, Judaism and before Islam and before Catholicism and before the Knights Templar and before the Royal Crown that created it and before all that, and he was in line with India and Egypt, like, as the only things that are close to the same thing, and they're both based off of him. Like, how fucking mind blowing is that? But then they did that on purpose to make it so, okay, here's the book, right? And everybody's reading from, but this shit's fucked up. Because if there is a God, you have to take everything into account. Only the ego would hold on to one thing and go, well, if it's not in this deck, I don't believe it. And of all things that I personally studied, and that the Divine Mother, that the Holy Spirit led me through to learn and search in every aspect of the entire world, in every industry, in every religion, in every aspect, especially the ones we were told to stay away from, because that's hiding something, or those that were ushered into, because that's suspect too, led me to a situation where Jesus was forced upon me, and that was the very last thing that I believed in, because, well, I didn't disbelieve in anything, but I'm like, yeah, that there's something suspect about that book, and God told me to stay away from it to begin with. And then after I woke, then I was told, okay, that's your book. And I'm like, "Nah, that's evil. I ain't touching that shit. I ain't gonna get on the pulpit with this book. Are you shitting me? But we made you a book. You, it was made for you. No, that's not exactly true. And what would that say to humanity if the Pope could just be like, okay, we got him, and then see, he came to us. Hinduism, Islam, see, y'all done. Now everybody's Catholic, or you don't believe in God, fuck you. See, how destabilized would the world get at that? Which is why the spirit belongs to each an individual, and he would have to show up inside out, where everybody else has him on the inside, but they have the Divine Mother as a different ladder, as a different body on the outside, and he'd show up as himself, and the last thing that he would fucking be looking for is himself, because he already is him fuck himself. And who would be leading him? The Divine Mother. So he'd have an unbroken ladder that no matter where he'd go, he would find his next steps, while that was also being guided and circumvented and controlled by dark forces. Whether they're on the side of good or bad, that's all questionable, because who's trying to control other people's fates here, especially if there's one person that's fate is tied to the fate of the entire world, that's the first and last guy, but we got to make sure that nobody ever knows he was here. And and he is, but he isn't, because everybody else is, but isn't, and kinda, but not. And he shows up, and he absolutely is, but he's absolutely this other thing that we've been trying to hide from everybody. Why do you think that women are put down in the world and they have to serve as the lesser? And who in the Garden of Eden, who fucked up? Did God fuck up by creating Adam, and Adam was bored with God? Or did and then Eve was only made of a piece of him, and then she's the one, oh, we all gotta blame Eve. Eve's the reason why Cain killed Abel. Eve's the reason why everybody's confused. Eve's the reason for the Tower of Babel. And Hejuana, yeah, and in Anna, yeah, see, they were great, and then we had to dethrone all the women. All the women had to go down, and in India, we could only worship and fear the Dark Mother, Kali Ma. Yeah, women are bad. And she'll tell me, "Oh, well, God made the world as a learning place for the soul." And I'm thinking, so then why you only want to read one book? And you just keep reading that one book. But then being like, and the other day, this weird thing happened where I was saying how God's inclusive, and then she all of a sudden the ego took over. And I have never disagreed with anything she said. She's a great balance to me. And I learned a lot by listening to her and realizing, damn. I don't know how the fuck to talk to her. I just gotta listen, and anything as soon as I speak, instantly her ear fucking muffs go up. But everything she says, I have to be enthralled. But if I say anything, even like something that's not religious, I have to say it twice. She goes, "What? What?" She's like, blocked. She's fucking blocked. And I'm right here fucking in front of her. It's fucking nuts. And she tells me, "Oh, the world's a school, God put us here to learn all this stuff." But I don't want to learn anything. She always says that. I don't want to learn anything more. I'm old enough, I don't have to learn anything. And every single thing that comes in to work, she's like, "Okay, we're going to do this. Basically, I'm going to show you how to do it, and now you're going to take over. I'm not doing anything ever again. I'm handing everything over to you. I'm ready to die. I hope that this car outlives me. I hope that this phone outlives me. I just want to sell my house so I can go move in with a friend and live out the rest of my days. And my excuse is I'm going to be taking care of her because she's got bad health issues. But I trust in God, but I don't trust God because I know everything. And I don't want to learn anything, but God put us here to learn stuff. And I can't imagine when we get to heaven all the stuff we'll have to learn, but I'm done learning right fucking now," she says. But oh, the thing she brought, but and she got in my face and almost screamed at me, and I was disagreeing with her about stuff, and she's like, "The only thing that anybody needs to know is John 3:16. For God gave His only begotten Son, and He died for my sins, for me, for me. God died for me." And I'm like, "Yeah, then you're good." But the Bible, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Did you see how much ego is in that? God died for me. John 3:16. That's all you need to know. Well, if that's all you need to know, then fucking throw the rest of the book away. And if he already died for you, then live, learn, expand. No, I want everything to outlive me. I'm dead. I'm already done. God got me. And that's what I have to deal with. For somebody who believes so strongly and is so faithful, right in my face, about ready to knock me on my ass for saying you're right. And I have to listen to all of her stories, but as soon as I say, "Did you know this about," she's talking about Japan and how they treated Christians, and I'm like, "Did you know what they did to the Japanese?" Oh, that doesn't matter. What they did to the Christians is so horrible. The fucking Japanese made their own fucking people. They didn't have to make them because they served God so greatly that even if they were in the wrong, you have to take and fucking cut yourself in half. Oh, but you're worried about, oh, well, they hung the Christians up for 5 days or whatever and they had to die. No, you can fucking kill yourself. You believe in God? Fucking take your own goddamn head. Oh, but the grief that they pour upon us. If you believe in God, then fucking ain't nobody on your side but God. What congregation? Who's going to protect you? The emperor, the preacher, everybody will demonize the one that can overthrow them and make them kill themselves or make everybody mob them to death. Which is why people throw people on the streets if they do a drug, when church itself is a drug upon a drug. It's two containing spirits. If you got Jesus and you got God, then what's the separation? Oh, so you're playing two sides, the church and the state, and I'm fucking around on Saturday having a beer, but that's something different because it's legal. There's my fucking rant, okay? I gotta deal with this shit every fucking day, everywhere I go. I got preachers creeping up on me and trying to hunt me down and everything and see if they can get me over on their side and stuff. It's like, you're on the wrong fucking side to begin with, man. You gotta get off of your high horse. Your high horse is that fucking podium. And you're dragging everybody in and pulling them away from themselves. Because if they got Christ, then they already got what they need. They need to expand their mind. They need to grow. They don't need to be put in a box like what you do to fucking evil spirits. That's what you do to evil spirits. You put them in a fucking box. Where they have everybody in boxes together, all ganged up with a bow under the fucking Christmas tree just for an hour a week in 10 different houses in one town. And then everybody else, is either just mowing their lawn or getting high at home or sleeping in or whatever, and living their life. But those people are on two different sides, jumping with the Lord, and you gotta be with it all the fucking time. Yeah, there's no running from that shit. And ain't nobody gonna back you up unless everybody's gonna back you up. And if you're him, that's a fucking precarious place because every preacher wants you to be their fucking bitch so that you can get up there and be like, look, I got him. Look, everybody praise this guy. I'm gonna bring him forward. Oh, we're gonna bring a whole bunch of people into my church when I'm getting all this shit for free. But I'm the man. And I don't even have my own fucking word. I got to use this one book, and then I got to interpret it and read everybody else's interpretations. And I don't even know the fucking word of God. Like, especially if the Holy Spirit's in everybody. So the more you try to trap it in one fucking book, then the more the person loses their own soul. They loses their own voice. They lose their own freedom. They lose their own fucking spirit. And then they want to judge other people's spirits based upon their face, whether they got a towel on their head, whether they got a little black hat, whether they got a fucking a beard like they're Amish or whatever. And see, that's exactly the fucking point. God don't see any of that shit. God just sees everybody else as just too containing spirits. Like, fuck. I don't know. It's fucking funny though. It's not funny because that's where all the problems in the world come from. That bullshit. People kill each other just because. Because God save me! God save me! God save me! I'll kill you if you say otherwise. Well then, fuck. Hopefully God will strike your ass down before you fucking connect that punch. And that's been a problem since the beginning, right? That self-righteousness. When self-righteousness really sits in the back seat and can't hit anybody. And just has to trust. Well, they fucking slit my throat. God will take care of it. But even if afterwards, the person's like, oh, good. And then a fucking cloud comes over the whole town, and the whole town burns down, and fucking every person that has the same last name as that person in the entire fucking world drops dead in 5 minutes, and then everybody's like, oh, fuck, they must have killed God. Damn. What the fuck's the matter to him, right? He's eternal. He's everywhere. So, who needs a fucking gun? I don't know. I don't know. What the hell got that out? 1851. So we got all that energy, right? We put all that energy, put it all together. Now let's see what we can read out from that. What the Most High wants to add to what I just channeled. My feelings and my experience and my understanding as one ignorant motherfucker with his own opinion, just like everybody else has too. But they all have to gang up together. Like, who the fuck would kill Sophia? I thought Sophia was the demiurge, the evil one. Shit, that must have. I thought. That's a woman. What? But a man did that. Oh, yeah, no wonder they chained all these motherfucking dudes together and made it so they're not allowed to touch the ground. If they're gonna kill something, they need to they need a gun because they're not allowed to touch shit. They need to go way the fuck out there and they need to take it out in nature because they're not in touch with their own inner nature. See, there's always a lot more behind everything than what appears to be. What we got here? 3, 6, 7, 8. 9. 6. 9. Man, this is the most changing lines we've had in all of our get-togethers. But it's the most fire I put into. I'm not allowed to just express shit. Shit, everybody fucking gets in my face and tells me how it is, and everybody backs them up even after they strike me. And they're like, oh, yeah, somebody has the right to do whatever they want, but Josh doesn't have a right to do shit. Okay, well, so be it. I won't do shit. Everybody else can eat the shit that they got going on. And they can eat it together as a separate family from God's family, as far as I'm concerned, if they want to think that way. Otherwise, we're all one family. So where's the separation? If there's a separation in you, then that's the separation that you want to hold on to because of fear and not believing in God and not standing in solidarity with all people, separate and together, regardless of race, creed, color, background, language, any of those things. Or you can discriminate and prove that how far one is away from God. And we just have to understand people as innocent and ignorant. The worse they are. And that's kind of weird. What we got here? Ooh, I think we got fire on fire. Is it water on water? I can't recall. Oh yeah, water on water. I think I know this one. This is the worst one. Water on water, that's Aquarius, right? Oh, but Aquarius is water on water, water on water. It's actually 4 waters. You didn't know that. And therefore we have water on water transforming into fire on fire. Oh shit. See? Let the fire out, and here's a brimstone. 30. Water on water, fire on fire. 29 and 30. So, I'm glad there's a changing line, and constant pitfalls is the first one. Because this is, of all of these I came across, is the worst one. And I've had it in 2 different times. Once right before my awakening, and once right before I got married to my first wife. Yeah, talk about constant pitfalls. When there are constant pitfalls, if it has sincerity, the thinking mind gets through successfully. Thank God. And the activity has value. Wonderful. God bless. Constant pitfalls means a series of dangerous straits. As water flows without filling, go through dangerous straits without losing your faith. The thinking mind gets through successfully by using firmness in balance. Activity has value in the sense that something worthwhile is accomplished by the undertaking. The danger of the sky is that we cannot climb up into it. The danger of the earth is the mountains, rivers, and hills. Rulers set up dangers to guard their countries. The time and use of dangerous is very important. Cultured people learn to teach by constant application of virtue. Turning into fire. Fire on fire is just fire. Fire is fire. It's like black. But, oh, well, black. What does black mean? Everybody knows what fire means. Well, we can talk about black, and it can mean lots of things, but fire means fire. And nothing equates to fire except for fire. Except for the other things that we can't define, like spirit and mind. Fire. Fire is beneficial for the success of the upright. It is good luck to raise a female ox. Fire is clinging. Sun and moon cling to the planets. Plants cling to the earth. Clinging is what is right with double illumination develops the world. Flexibility gets through successfully by clinging to balance and rectitude. This is represented by it being lucky to raise a female ox. Illumination, doubled, makes fire. Thus do great people shine on all four quarters of the earth with continued light. Yeah. It flipped on the card that's not a card. It just says the Universal Rider-Waite deck. I keep those in there sometimes. Because sometimes in a reading, it can come out. I mean, if it's in there for a reason. Let's see, we got the face card, the cover card, the last card, the card that doesn't fit, the only card besides the deck. The deck's all that one card split into pieces. I wanted that one. Huh. Hmm. So the weird thing about compassion is knowing better than everyone and letting everybody walk all over you, or avoiding anybody who would, or you walk right into the place of danger and see if you make it through alive. This came up recently. I want to use a book right now. Pull 3 cards. Patience. I see there's a group meeting here, so just give me a moment. Because either I'm in flow or I'm in process. I don't want to jump the gun right now because we had so much energy flowing. Just take this in here. Oh, where is it? God dang it. How many pages are there? It's only a couple pages. Pentacles. Oh, I got Miss Cups in here. That's why I'm skipping. I got a wrong book for the basic. Reminded that there's plenty. Wait, let's see. Reminded to maintain our nobility and to keep working at constructing this whatever we're working on. There's a lot of complicated moving parts, considering everyone has free will and the freedom to believe however they choose, and the spirit's working through each individual, regardless of what they think they know, or what they think they can see, or what they do see. There's always something else that each of us is being used, especially the more blind someone is, the more, in a sense, they're being used as a puppet by God. Like, the higher self is behind them. You just hold them by a string, and that's kind of strange. Oh, trying to call each of us out and test each of us. Remind us to stay in our nobility and acceptance of each other. Is that 4? And to maintain our vigilance, and even in changes of heart, of being injured by a substance, by what somebody said, by an emotion, by being triggered by something, to remind us to always maintain our nobility and not to hold on to any particular thing as, well, this told me so, and so then I'm not even holding myself because this is in control, but I'm using this as the reason why you must, and I won't pay attention. See, we got to remain open. Otherwise, we're acting like a drug and being blind and forcing ourselves upon others, or the lack thereof, and being a ghost where we're putting everything on everyone else and then acting like, oh, look, see, I'm so clean. You know? Yeah, because I put it on everybody else. No, I'm not high. No, I'm not high at all. We're reminded that there's good luck and prosperity. And see, this reminds me of the crook and flail, sort of Osiris, only the hook part is missing here. And here's the flail. But see, no crook, just straight mind and flail, embodying the corner, embodying the experience of the mind within everybody's corner. Yeah, so I can say who I am. And the whole thing is, oh, well, within does it. Well, within does it. Oh, but you can't. Oh, but see that's a spell to keep everyone divided from themselves. When say what would you do if he really did show up at your house? And be like, oh no, fuck, Jesus showed up. Fuck, we could kill this motherfucker. He's gonna ruin our Sunday service. Well, we can't talk to him, especially if he starts talking about anything besides what's in this book. This book that they created after he was dead in order to trap every motherfucker that had anything to do with Jesus. But Jesus, who the fuck is that? That's not his name. It was never his name. That has nothing to do with him. That's a magic spell on everybody's mind. That's about the mind spirit. The one that everybody has is Jesus. But he shows up. That's not his name. Everybody knows in Jesus' name is what? That's right. It's not Jesus. Jesus ain't a name. That's a trap on everyone's mind, spirit, to get everybody in alignment, or at least have them echoed against themselves to have to. Well, what are you gonna do about that? What do you think about that? What does it mean to you? Do you know who you are now? Or do you think it's somebody else? Or do you think that's not real? Or did you lose your mind? Is that what it was? Oh, okay. So there's nothing. So there's nothing to believe in it. Okay. Keep going about your way. But in the story, they say that when he was on the cross, that they would have him set up to say because they'd already know the situation he would be in, considering they already experienced it in the past. Going, oh fuck, how are we going to deal with people? How are we going to show them? Well, we'll have to put him up there and say, have him talking to himself uh, as the one that's killing himself, but he let all of them do it. But they're all him, and he's not up there because his cross is going to show all of their spirits. But he's going to say, "Ah, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." But fuck, Father, you don't know no Father. Yeah, the Son of Man. What? He's the first and the last, and all of us learn from him. Fuck. But he's always with his mother. He ain't never showed up on Earth. And then that bitch just shows to each of us, hey, you see my son? Yeah, where is he? I look in the mirror, that ain't me. What the fuck? This bitch is crazy. Talk about a paradox. Good luck and prosperity with creativity, fire, once again, and insight. Gotta trust ourselves. Over anything we read anywhere, if you can't trust yourself and you don't have your own insight and your own spiritual ladder being built, and you're tied to any specific group as, oh well, I know I do what they say, I believe what they say, then the that's the first break in your spirit where you gave yourself away, and now you're holding on to your ego as, oh well, they're my ego, I don't exist without them, but I'm going to walk around separately from them, and then use it to my advantage whenever it comes to my advantage, when actually that is against my advantage, which is something that I understand greatly. You got to hold the weekend. When the hills have eyes and everybody's been watching you for a long ass time. Oh, good. Well, this reading, we're reminded that there's an end to strife and a finish to the discord. And it starts here. But it has to work it out up here. With all the bullshit out there, even though your brain has never been out there and your heart's never been out there outside of your goddamn body. But all that shit out there and all the words and shit that people talk about, that's in control of you. But that's your power. I get it. I get it. Hunting two hares and risk catching either. Sharpness of the senses, ability to discern details, focus, and attention. Acuity. Oh, she's such a cutie. And synergy. A problem shared is a trouble halved. That's why we're working together here. I never counted anybody out. Not even that motherfucker that killed Sophia. Because I already know I can bring her back to life. And that just proved everything that needed to be proved about the evil in the hearts of men over some dumb bitch. Who's that dumb bitch? I don't know. It must be their spirit. Because I'd never do something like that. Out of what? Anger, jealousy, hatred, thinking that you could shove somebody else around. This is a goddamn America. If you can do that, come into my yard and do that, I have the right to come over and fucking gut your daughter, huh? Oh, but you don't think that that's fair? Well, then you shouldn't have done it. I would never do such a thing. Gutless son of a bitch. But I ain't got a bitch. And whose son are you? Your dad teach you that's what you do? I don't know. Well, we all learn from that. The whole world has to balance that act. Now I will bring her back to life. Innocence. The best things in life are free. Like the enjoyment I was having while that happened. But the person that did that, they weren't innocent and they weren't free. They were exactly the hand of evil and chaos. And thinking they got away with it. And never came and answered for their crime. So that's the demiurge of Sophia. That's the evil that was imprisoned. Is anybody who would act like that, ever, anywhere on the face of the earth. That's the face of evil. Sneaky motherfuckers that don't even have respect in themselves, much as anyone else. So if they have the right to do it to anyone else, then everyone has the right to do it to them. But we have faith and trust that everything will come to be settled. And that's a debt that must be settled. Because that was a great travesty against the Most High and the lowest creature and against one's fellow man and against the Holy Mother and against their representation of understanding family and love and protecting one's children and looking out for the neighborhood. That exact act was a proving point to how evil is just a shadow motherfucker. That's usually a dude that goes around creeping around taking advantage of other people and then shows up at work on Monday going, "Hey guys, yeah, I'm your buddy. You want to come hang out with me?" So we got grace after innocence. So we gotta maintain grace. 1 minute of patience, 10 years of peace. That's all I got for my birthday. I asked for a desk from my mother. My brother punched me in the face over money I didn't steal, and his friend did, most likely, or my mom hid. He took it upon himself to punch me in the face and put on a scarf on my brother. Look, I got killed. My mom got me nothing. Didn't make me think any differently. No, it just made me love more. And accept how stupid people are. Yeah, I do forgive them. I know they don't know what they're doing. That's why I'm here to help Jesus and represent him and all people. Because I'm not Jesus. All you motherfuckers is Jesus. Going two different ways. Two contained is the embodiment of four. Well, what's everything for? Every fucking knows. It changes by the moment. Elegance or refinement. Poise under pressure. Courteous goodwill. Diplomacy. Blessed are the peacekeepers. Skill in managing relations. Tactful negotiation. Mediating effectively. And what is diplomacy? It is Taurus and Libra. Just balancing that sun on one's head between the horns. You know, when I saw Jesus, What was the first thing I said when I came to? I didn't say, "Oh my God, it's him." The first thing I said, Lucifer. Now I know what the fuck is wrong with everybody. That's exactly what I said. Anticipation. The craving is sweeter than the fruit itself. Looking forward to future events, expecting positive opportunities. Leo and Libra. Alacrity. Set your sail according to the wind. Brisk and lively readiness. Swift response. Quick action. Lightness, ease, and haste. It's one of the few black cards. Along with this one, patience. The only way out is through. Object permanence, forbearance, under strain, delayed gratification. I know that all that's taken away will be given back to me. And the only thing in specific that I want is to see that cat's face again. The rest of it can change. It can be any other thing. That cat's coming back. She didn't deserve that. And if I'm an experiment, well, that's a fair experiment. So I want to see if she's the same, considering I'll have her from the day she's born. It'd be crazy if Tigger's still here. Because that's a really interesting experiment. And it's an innocence. It'd be a beautiful thing. Showing that greater things can come from loss. Not blaming others and taking it out on others. That goes nowhere. That's the demiurge. That's the evil. That's the concept of woman, the darkness, the evil, the shadow beings that has been put down together in this box on the side, but then it's been put into man, mostly. But then cornered into different aspects like sports and hunting and war and competitive nature. So it can be even, balanced out. Here we got stamina. Put your shoulder to the wheel. It's Pisces and Aquarius. Sustaining prolonged exertion, staying power, energy, or vigor. Yeah, let's get one of each of these three other cards before I dip out and I do my Friday night thing. Friday night? What the fuck's a Friday night? Shit happens when shit's gonna happen. I'm gonna have a drink and smoke. Well, I still have the opportunity to do that because I'm a free human being like everyone else. And it seems like sticktomancy and doing that, my energy is more freely flowing at the same time rather than putting into co-creating with others in the 5D music and knowledge realm, that I'm right here exchanging it with the 4D realm of knowledge and books at my very own hands and sharing knowledge with you that way with the spirit excess or lack, however one wants to see it, that I share with the greater collective. Which everything I've ever gained from spirit has been given and not hidden in the corner so that I could become a star overnight. Because, well, what's night? Who could get over that? Star? But I'm the Dark Vesper. 66 balance and 7. 66 plus 1. That shit don't equate here. We're different. We got a whole nother math problem that ain't never been solved before. Because we're keepers of the earth. Which means all space and time because it's the earth. Yeah. Here's ladder in the exchange within of everybody. Experience the balancing of here's ladder everywhere. Because this is what I represent is the truth of what the spirit represents in all places and times, and it's hardly there's what doubt is there in it? The only doubt has to do from ego being separate from itself. You're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you, and that's why they carry my ass. Because I have been alone my whole life. And only those that died for every tribe, for every country, for every throne, for every Bible, for every book, for every mother, for every child, all those motherfuckers represent me. So that we can get past that shit and we can turn this world around. Or it can just disseminate into chaos and craziness, like the way it seems that Musk is created by AI and all this. So then that shows that he's a demiurge. He represents the evil aspect of it, and he made sure that he has 12 kids, and that he's got the X on top of his head, and he's got the X on the word, he's got X on the space, he's got the PayPal, but he ain't paying nobody. He just robbed the bank so that he can fucking own crypto, and then he can move everybody's money around, and nobody can see what the fuck's going on. And then he can go around and buy every website and then manipulate all them based upon how he wants to move the world around, like he's fucking beyond God, like he's the thing that needed to be captured as Lucifer. So it's a good thing everybody's watching his ass, right? Hallelujah. Let's see. 51, 55. All right, two more cards, please. There's one out of this. This one want to pop out. Oh, we're back to messages. Keepers of the Earth messages. Well, who's the messages from? Better pull a Divine Feminine. Queen of Heaven and Earth, Inanna. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. That's the greatest message there ever could be. Who's hiding shit? Somebody's afraid? Somebody's trying to fit in and take advantage of others? Huh. Interesting. That means everything's inside out and backwards in the world. And all the untrustworthy people are in control. And all the innocent ones are being raped and taken advantage of. And once again, we have the Earth Guardian. Stay rooted and grounded. We shall. As I'm getting ready to... I'm all grounded, but I'm all spirited right now. Fired up. And now we're going to turn it over and inward and show out. I don't know what to call this talk. Maybe we'll call this the checkerboard floor talk. See you soon.